I'm glad to be back with you, and I asked you yesterday if you would take a moment to share a rating or a review. I'm going to ask you that one more time because I need to be told something over and over again before I actually follow through with it. So if you like this podcast, if it's helpful to you, please just take a moment and hit the star for a rating, or actually write one out on Apple Podcast or Spotify, or make sure you subscribe if you're watching it through YouTube, because I think it's really helpful stuff and it encourages me, and I hope it encourages you. And if it does, you should share it with other people. This week, we have been exploring the reality that some people look at life and just feel like it's meaningless, that there's no real point, that it's vanity. Why work hard? Why try to get ahead when, none of it's going to last? And I think there's some reality to that idea. Most of the things that we do are not going to last. I was actually cleaning out files the other day, and I found my transcript from high school. So I was about halfway through high school at that time, but I found what I was studying in 9th grade and 10th grade and 11th grade and 12th grade, what I had coming up. And let me be honest with you. Not only do I not remember a lot of the things that I studied in those classes, some of them, like, I don't even remember the class whatsoever. I'm 47 years old, so I probably have dementia at this point. It's been 30 years since my last class. I graduated when I was 17, turned 18 right after I graduated. So it's literally been 30 years since my last high school class. And when I looked at that transcript, I realized it's not just that I don't remember the stuff that I learned in the class. I don't even remember taking that class. And so you might be in the situation where you're like, why do I bother to try in this class when it's going to have no bearing on my life? And what we've been talking about this week helps provide meaning in situations like that. Because whether it's a class that means nothing to you, or whether it's actually, building your bank account or building your house or whatever, all of it is going to go away at some point. Every possession you own is going to burn or rot or dissolve or be lost at some point. All of your achievements are. I found my college diploma in the bottom of a file cabinet. You know when the last time somebody asked me for my college diploma was? Literally never. Like, nobody's ever asked me for it, and yet all of that time and money for it. So what's the point if the stuff of life is so meaningless? And what we have talked about is how I can choose to bring meaning to those things because I belong to God. And because I belong to God, it changes all of it. So the author of Ecclesiastes, most likely King Solomon, starts out with talking about how meaningless life is. And then in 5:18, he says, "Behold, I've seen what's good and fitting is to eat and drink and find enjoyment in all of the toil," which means work, "which one toils under the sun, the few days of life that God has given him. For this is his lot," which means that's that's what you've been given to do. "Everyone also to whom God has given wealth and possessions and power to enjoy them and to accept his lot and rejoice in his toil, this is the gift of God." And so, you can decide that everything you're doing is worthless and meaningless, or you can decide that today is a gift from God. The things that you get to study are a gift from God. The work that you get to do is a gift from God. The interactions that you get to have, the creativity you get to show, the fact that you have a brain to learn anything is a gift from God, and treated as such. And that goes along with what we talked about yesterday with having a great day. So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do all to the glory of God. Now, what I want to focus on for a couple minutes today is the reality that we don't always, our emotions don't always line up with what we're experiencing. There have been days where I have just felt sour, like it's a terrible day. But if I were to tell you the things that happened in the day, like, most of the experiences were really good. And what's also crazy is you maybe have, if you've traveled to a third world country, or even just in our country, maybe you have noticed that there are some people who have a ton of wealth, a ton of access, a ton of privileges, and they're miserable people. And you've met other people that are incredibly poor, people that don't have very much at all, and they seem to be very thankful and very content and very happy. You've met people in the prime of their life and in great health. I think about Kevin Durant, who's a NBA basketball player, and he ultimately, kind of cheated, joined the Warriors, and won 2 NBA championships. And this guy is elite of elite of elite. But after he won those championships, he talks about how it still felt empty and meaningless. And yet you have other people who are crippled, people who have real handicaps, people who have real suffering, and they somehow seem to go through their days with joy. And so what I want to just encourage you on today, you're maybe listening to this towards the beginning of your day, is that you get to choose whether this is a good day or not. It is not actually based on your circumstances. It's based on your choices. And the first choice is deciding that it's going to be a good day. There's a psalm, "This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it." We have no idea what was actually happening in the psalmist's life during that day. He could have buried one of his children, or he could have just, inherited a fortune. We don't know, and it doesn't matter, because in either circumstance, this is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. Today, you get to choose whether to focus on the things that you don't have, the things that are going wrong, the things that you cannot control, or you can focus on the fact that today is a day where God is giving you life. He's giving you breath. He's giving you time. He's giving you opportunities, that this is truly the day that the Lord has made, and he has graciously gifted you to be alive in it. So I want to just help empower you that you get to choose that it's going to be a good day. I want to help empower you that you get to choose that it was a good day, even if bad things happened in the day. That you are not a victim of your circumstances. You are not a victim of everybody else. You are not a victim of your physical defects or limitations. You are not a victim of your financial circumstances. You are a moral agent that has choice before the Lord, and you can choose that today is going to be a good day. And especially if you lean into the Lord and say, "Lord, I want this to be a good day. Help me to choose into this good day by eating, drinking, by everything I do, doing it for the glory of God." God will meet you in that moment. So choose today to make this a good day. And over the next couple of days, I'll help show you how to do that.